Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Life. My name's Matt Drake. This is episode 201.
Boom.
We are back after a mammoth weekend of nationals. We're back. Morgan, have you had chance to kind of refresh from your Thailand trip? Presumably you took it easy over the weekend.
Not particularly. When we jumped on the show just before, and hey guys, hey, kia ora. Welcome to the show again. When you brought up nationals, not just now but earlier, I went, oh my god, that was just seems just so ago. I feel like this last week, pushing back up, trying to get a little bit healthier after being pretty crook. It's just been a whirlwind, man, and we're back into it this weekend with Roxburgh. So let's go.
We are.
How were you after nationals?
Oh, I was tired, and I'm still tired. No, it was great. Nationals was a really good tournament. I very much enjoyed it. There was lots going on. There was obviously lots of players that who we've not seen in New Zealand before.
Yep.
Some people would have seen them earlier on in the tour, but that I'd not seen before. And also, two courses. I've played Bottle Lake before. Did you play Bottle Lake? Have you played Bottle Lake?
I have not had the opportunity. I've been chomping at a bit to get there. That's like my old stomping ground from where I used to live. So
you played Brooker Ave? I
have played Brooker many times.
Okay, all right. So sorry, I misspoke. I played Brooker Ave before.
Yep.
Back when it was the old course, the little short 9-hole one.
Yep.
And I've never played Bottle Lake before. I have to say, Bottle Lake was brilliant. I loved it. I thought it was a great course. It was I thought it was very well kind of maintained, and it was easy to get around. You kind of knew where you were going to get from tee to like pin to tee, and it was all kind of obvious. The logs along the floor kind of snaked you through the forest to find your next one. So that was
well,
cool.
The Watkinson family and crew have been working on that for quite some time now. Like I sort of remember when it came to fruition, and they got the opportunity to get in there and really start just digging their teeth and their claws into it. And man, I don't think they've stopped, because I mean the videos, the photos I've seen from the course now, it just looks incredible. So big shout out to them.
I want to go through a little bit more detail both courses. And some of the other sort of adventures that we had at nationals. But first of all, we'll go through what we're going to be going today. We've got hot scores coming up. Then we're going to be reviewing nationals, and then, as Morgan mentioned, we've got two tournaments that are straight into it. We've got Moonshine Open in Wellington this weekend on a new course. Well, it will be a new course. More on that later. And you've got Roxburgh Open this weekend as well, Morgan, that you're running.
Yes.
And you're probably leaving for there tomorrow, I would have thought, to get down and set up and all that.
I'll just give a quick shout out to Adam, because Adam drove off from my house in the middle of this afternoon, and it was like watching a child just being sent into the wilderness for the first time. We've never set one up without each other, and he is gone. He's there now. He's setting up. He works for himself. I don't have the privilege of being able to just take another day off work after taking 3 weeks off. So he's headed up there. He's already setting up there now. And then Johnny, Tebbs, and Lance Eason are all going to jump in there tomorrow and give him a hand before I show up in the evening. But I'm just back here being the kitchen hand, sorting out the lunches.
Fantastic. We've got a bit of Disc Golf Valley, which we'll have a go at. So a DRXR, Delta Romeo X-Ray Romeo, if you want to have a go at the old Disc Golf Valley. See if you can beat my score of, I got about +7 or something. And Morgan, you, straight off the back of, I don't know if you... obviously you were here last week, and I'm sure that many people listening would have been here last week, where we gave away a huge number of discs, including this one, which I've carted back to Wellington to give to John Gibbs. I've not seen him yet, but I will over the weekend or next week.
The Ella Hansen showstopper.
Indeed. And we gave away so much stuff. I got a really nice message, actually, from Ben Cooper, who won the $200 NZDSS voucher. And he said, I've been meaning to get my kid into disc golf for a while, and this has just gone and bought him a setup. So from what it looked like, he got him a bag, few discs. He's set up now. So that's
what we like to hear, eh?
That's fantastic.
That's what we like to hear. It's beautiful.
Love that.
It went to the right person.
It did. But we're not stopping there, because you've got to give away tonight.
Off the back of that, why would we stop tonight?
Indeed.
After last week's big giveaways?
What have you got?
I've got this really awesome sort of greeny yellow to orange transitional FD from the new DNA range from Discmania. And you know what? I love this disc, but it's brand new. I love these discs, the FDs and that, but I just can't throw them to save me. So whenever I get one, I try to give it away. And why don't we just give it away on the show tonight? Okay. So guys, everyone in chat, if you want to go in the draw to get this sweet FD, just mainly FD, the DNA edition, just type DNA into the chat, and Mr. Tom Baker in the back room there will put you on the list, and we'll do a bit of a draw at the end of the show.
Excellent. So DNA into the chat, and you will get yourself into the draw to win that lovely disc. Okay. And then we've got we might do some distal, but we'll have a look at tipping and the power rankings and all of that lovely stuff as well. So let's go through nationals. Now, I was quite fortunate to be able to play this. 5 days away is a lot to ask any time. So I was eternally grateful to be able to get away for the time and play. The two courses, right? So we had Bottle Lake and we had Brookerav. Brookerav, honestly, I don't care too much for it. It's as a course, it's long, and it was windy on the days that we played, and it got a bit frustrating. There were some nice holes and some, when you felt like you got a good score and you felt like you did something, that felt good. But whoa, it was long. It was long, and I appreciate that there was.
What was the final meterage on that course there?
About 3,000 meters.
3,000. That's so up there.
It's about 3,000 meters. What was interesting is that Aaron Gossage said on his practice round that actually it was a little bit too short, and there were eagles being taken on many of the holes. So yeah, that was that. There's a lot of, if you didn't play it, I'll try and give you a theme. They really like the island green with a hazard in front. There was a few holes that were like that, and very tight fairways with OB using OB roads and fully. Now the only criticisms I'd have of it is that the markings I feel could have been better, right? So the markings, and I mean this in two ways. One, to get from each hole to the next hole, right?
Right.
Now maybe it's because at Bottle Lake that was quite easy, because they'd marked it out with logs on the ground, and actually if they hadn't marked it out with logs on the ground, it would have been nearly impossible, because once you get in that forest, every direction looks the same. And so, if you didn't have the logs there to direct you where to go next, it would be incredibly difficult, I would suspect. But the Brooker Ave layout, I think there could have been a bit more whole kind of like go here next kind of thing. And I mean, it wasn't too, once you played it, it wasn't too bad. The other thing on course markings was there are a couple of instances where the course markings were a touch confusing, especially where Mandos met OB lines. So some Mandos were out of bounds, and that made it confusing as to whether you broke the Mando or went out of bounds. And we interpreted the rules as they were. So we had an instance on our card where you've got a Mando you've got to go to the left of, and as the example, but there's an OB line that runs with the Mando in the corner. And the Mando line is like at 45 degrees, that goes out of bounds to infinity. And if you miss that Mando, you broke the out of bounds line first, then broke the Mando, and we played it that you broke the Mando, irrespective of kind of.
If you broke the OB line, then you're saying you never came back in bounds once you missed the Mando.
No, even if you did come back in bounds, because what we said was that the disc isn't out of bounds until it comes to rest.
Yep.
And so if it goes into out of bounds airspace, that doesn't matter. But as soon as it breaks that Mando pane, then that's it. It's kind of dead, and you go to the drop zone, irrespective of whether the disc then comes to rest in bounds or out of bounds.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of instances like that, and on top of that, I don't feel like the Caddy Book and the PDGA app were as good as they could be. Or as good as I've experienced in other tournaments. But look, the setup that they had there, they had a big tent with some music going. Everybody got an introduction, like on the tee, which I thought was great.
Seen that kind of thing. That's great. Yeah.
So that's always cool. And you know that was brilliant. And the hype guy at Bottle Lake, I think his name's Christian. The hype guy at Bottle Lake was brilliant. He was fantastic especially on the Saturday. The Saturday that when we were there, we were playing quite early, and it was early. MA40 went off first, actually, for 3 of the days.
Yeah.
And so
we're the hype guy. Was this the guy on the microphone the whole time?
That's right. He was the guy on the mic, kind of introducing players and also bringing in cards because hole 18, if you know it, hole 18 and hole 1. Hole 18 finishes, the tee of hole 18 is right next to the pin of hole 18 is right next to the tee of hole 1, which is then right next to the announced tent. Christian Gallant, that's it. He was brilliant. He did a fantastic job of keeping people hyped up. Bit of a roasting. Everybody got a roasting off the tee. That was fantastic. So that was always good to hear, because you were always a little bit, what's he going to come up with? But it was brilliant. I thought the players pack was a little bit underwhelming, if I'm honest. I don't know what I expected. It was $130 for an amateur, but I felt the players pack was a little bit underwhelming. It was valued at $105, the players pack, according to the PGA site, which I thought was I don't know whether it included lunch or not, because the lunches were quite nice. If you were,
definitely, it surely would, unless they added this optional extra, then it definitely would have. Yep.
Yeah, and I think that the lunches were pretty nice. Were pretty nice, actually. You've got. I didn't think. I actually looked forward to the lunches each day, and they were good. So yeah, happy with that. And they were all cooked on site, and they got some barbecue pieces going on.
Sounds familiar.
So yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was overall pretty good. Pretty good. I've got very few nationals, if you like, to kind of compare it against. But yeah. So if you've got a review of the event and you went to nationals, then please head over to sweetchainlive.com and you can leave your review for other people to know as well. What did you think of the course? How did it stack up against expectations? And what did you think of the courses? What did you think of the players packs? What did you think of the overall experience and value for money? We'd love to hear from you. So head over to sweetchainlive.com, find the event, and then
question on that quickly, Matt. Are these reviews public review or just for Sweet Chain to see?
No, they're public reviews.
They are public review. Yeah,
so
cool.
When you leave a review, so I'll just run through this quickly. And I don't know whether producer Tom might be able to bring an example up of one possibly. When you leave a review on our site, when at the point of leaving the review, you can choose whether to remain completely anonymous. You can put in your name, or you can put the division that you played in, or you can put in your class. So whether you're an amateur or a pro. Okay, so you can choose which one of those that you are. I think if you go down to the bottom there, Tom, you can see visibility. Now, because Tom didn't play the event, his options for visibility are slightly less than if you did play the event. So it looks to see if you played the event based on your PDGA number in your profile. And so if your PDGA number in the profile is up to date, then it will look to see if you played it, and if it did, then it will. What's going on there? I'm not sure what's going on there. Have a look. But yes, please head over and leave a review. Craig asking, Bottle Lake, assumed you liked it better. Yeah, I did. I did like Bottle Lake better. The course was nicer. I felt like even playing the long course that there were some opportunities to actually attack, whereas Brooker Ave, it was just back against the wall, just for trying to fend it off, honestly. I didn't do very well.
It did seem like there were some pretty hearty scores coming out of Brooker when I looked over. You start seeing 8s, 9s, 10s popping up, almost back to back for some people having a rough time.
Yeah, right. I mean, because some of the holes you're throwing directly into a headwind, and for me, and you're throwing directly into a headwind, and you need to make it across like a road, for example, that's like 50 or 60 meters in front. So you can't just sort of lay up all the way. You've got to commit at some point. And all my drivers were turning over. If you know my bag, I've got like one overstable driver, and so that was that. It was turnover city. But no, I enjoyed it. The cards were great. I got to play with Phil and Brett on day 2, which was good fun, and Simon on day 1. So I managed to get on the card with the farts for a while. Scott Brooker saying, vengeance for all those South Island par 4 comments, Matt. Well, yes and no.
Yeah,
because
I
they
just read
still
that. That's what got me.
They still exist. South Island par 4s, they still exist. The Gardens has got a couple.
The Brooker Ave was just like, gotcha, Matt.
Yeah, well, that's right. But I would argue actually that on a calm day, that course is pretty attackable, right? On a calm day, it's you can even I could do some work. I'm not saying I could finish under par, but I'd certainly be a lot better than, I think, plus 19 and plus 17 were my 2 scores on the course. But no, overall, I played better than my rating by 30 odd points over the tournament. So that was a good.
That was you just pulled that out of thin air, because that was going to be my next question. I was like, even though your scores were that high, how did your ratings sort of?
Well, it's like when we were talking to Goose, he was talking about how the ratings would work, or how he suspected the ratings might work, and they kind of went according to what we thought, right? So, and this is one of the reasons why I was keen when we had Jay on, and there was a discussion over what layout MA40 would play, because it was sort of not last minute, but it was one where there was a little bit of discussion. Even my round 1 got rounded up to 900, even better. I was so that was 4 900 rated rounds in that tournament. Happy with that. Which means that Gossage is 1 rated as well. So there was a lot of talk about it, about what courses were to be played, and I was quite glad that I chose the long courses to be played at Brooker because of that. So yeah, overall pretty happy with how it went. I shot a 900, a 909, a 924, and a 911. Yeah, but there was, if you have a look at the cards, my cards in more detail, which I don't suspect, I don't recommend that you do, but what I know I suffered from is there were a couple of holes when I had triples and quads, right? So, for example, the second Bottle Lake round 2, first round at Bottle Lake, I was going, I hit +8, I think, and that included a triple on the final hole. That was like so annoying. And on the next day, I shot a +6, and that included a triple on one of the holes as well, hole 7, I think it was. So yeah, there were a couple of of really kind of frustrating periods in that tournament. In the first round, I lost 14 shots in 6 holes. So yeah, it was annoying.
Yeah, that's a couple of you.
I don't know what it was, whether that's concentration on those individual holes, and maybe I just need to get better at, when I scuff my drive, going, right, okay, this is now a par 6. How can I get away with how can I?
I just want to jump back to your comment before about MA40s and which sort of grouping they should be in. Do you think that should be an across the board decision and I know they don't really have the power to do it right now, but we'll just say NZDG or PDJ, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? Do you think that should be an across the board situation where you've got Group A and Group B, some people playing off BT, some off A? Do you think MA40 should always be on A's or B's, or it can just float depending on which course?
It's real difficult because you nearly always go, you're nearly always going, right, MP40 longs, pro tees, fine, right? But then I was in a situation where if I didn't want to play off the long tees, then my only other division I can play in where that makes any sense then is MA2 probably.
Yeah.
Now there's nothing wrong with MA2. I wouldn't necessarily mind going to play MA2, but it's certainly this weekend has made me think, okay, maybe it's worth looking at that in future tournaments. And I think that the next one for me is going to be Dystopia in March. And so I think that I think it's going to be that one. I think has all got the same tee, so I don't think there's long and short.
I mean, I've never thought to ask Mr. Arnberg, super friend of the show, if that's the reason he jumps between MA40 and MA2, if it's depending on which layout of a course he wants to play. It's the first time that's crossed my mind in terms of him, at least. But like I put MA40s into a Group A category pretty much always now. I sort of went through a stage maybe 2 years ago where it was sort of chopping and changing, but now I've just gone MA40. The level of a lot of the MA40s, especially down this region, the guys that I know are definitely A group players in my opinion. And then, as you say, they can go back to MA2 if they want the short course.
That's right, and I know that there's a few players that I know there's a few players who are in MA40 who I play with regularly who are like, I want to play the long course, and I voted for the long course on this one. But I don't know. Would I go for it again? I don't know. If I was playing the tournament again, would I play MA2 in order to play the shorter course? Possibly, but then I want to play with my mates, So there's always that kind of balance where,
There's a comment there from Matty Broughton, and it's kind of funny, but it's sort of MA40 broken down old men playing longs, professional female disc golf world class athlete shorts. ...
Yeah.
Was that the case?
They play. Well, yes and no. So the ladies for round at Brooker played what was described as the amber layout. So the amber layout is in distance wise about in between the short and the longs with the same par, right? So the pars are like 70 and 71, right? So the par of the amber is like 70, but you have they played the amber, so it was about 1,000 feet, 300 odd meters, 330 meters shorter than the longs, and about 330 meters roughly longer than the shorts. And then at Bottle Lake they played the longs, right? So yeah, I mean that is what it is. From what I heard, they put it out, like Jay put it out to a vote, and they said, like, which ones do you want to play? So it was and wasn't his decision. I mean, and Steve's just making the comment there that FPO played shorts at Topor and it's definitely preferred by them. Yeah, I know. Maybe this is a MA40s getting a bit too big for our boots. Thinking that
that's interesting, right? That's an interesting comment by Steve, because I haven't heard it for a while now, but I used to hear the absolute opposite from FPO, going, we want the long tees. We want the big tees. We don't want to be playing the ladies' tees as they used to formerly be known as.
Yes, that you don't call it the ladies' tees, right? That we have to stop that.
No, it's not. It's not. That's been stopped long ago. That's why I said formally. I don't know why I'm doing this for formally. Apologies. Yeah, I mean, I've heard the absolute opposite, but I suppose, I mean, well, I don't even have an answer. Maybe the ladies just want to go and shred off the shorts.
Yeah, I think the issue that you've got is that some people, like, you want to score, right? You want to feel like you got somewhere. And there was certainly times, I'd finish my round and go up to the guys and they'd be like, "Oh, I got a birdie. I got my birdie for the round," And is that what you want to be getting for? Now, don't get me wrong, at the top of MA40, James Sutton, Stu Gilchrist, Gary Jarvis, they were shooting probably 3 or 4 birdies, I think it was, per round, right? And a whole lot less bogeys. But for a lot of the MA40 division, it was a slog, even at Bottle Lake, where, I think I took 14 pars on the first round of Bottle Lake, right? Second round of Bottle Lake, sorry, 14 pars. And Bottle Lake's a tough. At that point, I was playing bullseye for par was my goal at that point. Jake's saying you skip the hardest part of the course, playing the shorts. That's right, because the hole 15 and 16, or hole 15's broken into 2, so you play hole 15 and 16. On the longs, you play hole 15 as one hole, and on the shorts, you play hole 15 from the same tee, and hole 16 goes to 15's basket, right? So they essentially split the hole in 2, and you play 2, and then they make up for it with another little short one a bit further on. Is he? Okay, he's talking about Bottle. Okay, yeah. The only real difference I thought with Bottle Lake from the short course was that you essentially missed the first gap. You missed that first. You missed the first gap, right? So you often, your tee box is just in front of the 2 as they come up. And then after that, it's a placement shot onto the green. So yeah. If I was playing it again, would I play the shorts or the longs? Would I go to MA2 and play the short? Be a real tough decision, because I want to play with my mates. That's the only real difference. If all of them said, "Oh, yeah, now we're going to play MA2 because we want to play the shorts," I'd be like, "Bro, I'm doing it." Because it'd be a lot easier on the arm and a lot easier on the head as well. Our first round at Brooker took 4 hours.
Yeah,
right.
Sounds lovely.
And our final round was not much shorter than that. So it was a long old day, and in that sun and wind, it's like, wow.
I tell you what, Matt. Like, I'm glad we did make the decision not to play nationals, because I think I may have died after coming off of that. That was 51 hours door to door. If I'd had to throw a disc golf round in the middle of that, a proper long one.
There were a few heroes who did play.
I know.
And so we shall. You'll have to ask them how they went. One
of them DNF because his legs stopped working.
Oh, that's a good reason to stop. Yeah. So Scott's saying Nash is the highest standard of MA40 player on average. Don't know if that's true. I think if you look at the top 10, it's a higher quality of player on average. That's certainly true. But overall, the whole of the field, I don't know whether that's true or not. I'd maybe contest that. But certainly at the top end, the quality is higher, because you're grabbing people from all over the country typically, whereas you might have a tournament otherwise. And so I'd be interested to know. Chat. What do you think? What would if there was a hard and fast rule, and Arn came in with his iron fist and said, right, MA40 have to play off these tees. What are you going for? Steve's saying it's good to have a third layout. Maybe that. I mean, as a tournament director, Steve, I mean, are you comfortable with another layout? I don't know. For many people, they would perhaps prefer the simplicity of just two over any.
I tell you what, if honestly, as a TD's point of view, it's just a little bit more on the back end, and then obviously a little bit more on the course. But if you've got access to the extra tee pads, the markings, and all of that, then why not? I mean, make the field exactly what you want. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. I mean, you do run into propagation issues. So one of the things that
numbers on the field. Yep.
I haven't done enough analysis on this, but it was something I was speaking to Ella about, was that in round 2 and 3, the ladies' rounds were propagated by all of MPO, all of MA1, and all of MA40, which is not an insignificant number of people, right? So it was what are you looking at? 40 plus 38 plus 40, 120 people, right? Whereas for rounds 1 and 4, they were propagated by just 13 players. So
huge difference.
So yeah, I don't know whether that makes enough of a difference. Certainly, it arguably would have changed things to some degree. But I mean, we'll never know, right? Because it would have been, it's all.
If you were to put MPO through that third layout, but on a different round, do they still get propagated in the other rounds, or just that one round?
No, it's just for each round. So if you play different ones, then it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Which is MA40 didn't, Craig. MA40 got the option of the amber layout, but it was, from what I heard, the vote was overwhelmingly something like 30-2 or something, to play the red, the longer layout. So I mean, it was people wanted that. Scott makes a good point. Whatever the decision, it should be announced whatever at sign up and not debated days before tee off. People can make informed decision. I mean, that's true. That's true. I look, it's a good experience to have gone through, because it means that in future events there might well be instances where this conversation is had, where it might not otherwise have been had. So yeah.
I'm just going to jump in here, Matt. We've had an extra few people jump into the show. I've been watching the stream numbers go up. I'm just going to bring this back up. We have this beautiful FD up for grabs today, guys. All you got to do is put the word DNA, or the letters DNA, into the chat, and we'll have a bit of a thing at the end of the show to see who's going to take that one home tonight.
Into that chat, and later on we'll be doing the draw. Anyway, let's go through some results and see how we get on. So starting in MPO, Aaron Gossage takes out the win by 8 shots over Levi Stout, really dominating the field. And I don't know, Morgan, have you caught any of the coverage? Did you see any of the GoPro on this yet?
Zero time this week, mate, but I am looking forward to seeing it. So,
well, the advantage about watching it in one go is that you can binge it, right? And you get the full story rather than piecemeal. So definitely go and watch it. You'll get a sense of what we're talking about in terms of the courses and the layouts and stuff. Highlighted by a round 3 1080
huge
rated round, which was equivalent to 14 under par, beat the course record by 2 strokes, which was set the day before by Robert Burridge, Braden Sides, and Ezra Robinson. Robert Burridge finishes in 3rd by 2 shots behind Levi and 4 shots ahead of Braden. Great to see Levi in the podium.
Mate, I messaged him too, and true Levi fashion, still not quite happy, eh? I messaged him, giving him all the praise in the world, man, because that is an incredible feat up against that lineup of gentlemen right there. But how many was that? Sorry, Tom's in our ear in the background.
Two-time runner-up. So he was runner-up in Wellington in 22.
And I tell you what, that's almost what's becoming an issue we want to see the pros down here. But man, they're stopping our true national champions, right?
Well, that's it. That's a thing. That's a thing.
Because
So this is the
let's just be honest. Levi is the national champion as
well.
all Kiwis.
So
Really.
yeah, but he's had 2 second places, and in the last 3 years, we haven't had a Kiwi win it. So do you know who the last Kiwi to win the national championship was? You remember who that is?
Jacko?
Nope. Jacko's never won it.
Oh, really? Sheesh. No, fire it at me.
Jay Watkinson. Jay Watkinson won it in Wellington.
Oh, sheesh.
And the year after was and if you remember, he beat Levi, and it came down to the last couple of holes, not the last hole, but the big hill, hole 16 as it was, in big par 5 up the hill. Levi had a putt that hit the cage and rolled away, and that cost it.
But man, what was I'm just trying to bring it up here. His event average, Levi's event average 1041.
Yeah, I mean
across all of nationals, that's just unreal. It's amazing. So well done, Levi. And I know you might not be happy with it 100%, but man, you killed it, dude. You absolutely killed it.
Yeah,
everyone's super proud of you.
Absolutely. The next highest Kiwi was Ben Wheelake, who tied for 10th. He'll be pleased with his tournament results: 998, 994, 97, and 1009.
Say, I mean, I'm absolutely stoked to see Ben up there, but I mean, like the jump in the score just there between Levi and Ben, right?
Yeah, 27 shots. I know it's over 4 rounds, right? But 27.
Yeah, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah. And yeah, so a couple of other highlight performances to pull out. Rainer Pai and Jasper van der Meer had some really good first rounds, both shooting 10-15. Let's have a look. Who else did particularly well? Jay Watkinson on his own course shot a 1041, 9 under par. So well done to him. That kind of really put him into a great position for him to finish 12th. And yeah, stacked field, lots of good play all the way down. But it really was. Levi did incredibly well to slot himself into second there in MPO. In FPO, sorry, Ella Hansen takes out the win here. She was slightly behind after the first round,
and after round 2,
and after round 2, but then caught it back in round 3. I've watched round 1 coverage. I've not seen the other.
Yeah, six shots after round 2 between her and Juliana, and then the next round, Ella shot 1 down, Juliana shot 6 over, and there it is. There's the difference made up plus a stroke.
Yeah, and then
that's all it takes.
And then you go into Brooker on the last day, where in fairness for the ladies, it wasn't as blowy when they played as it was for the men, but it was calmer for the MA40s, right? So the first MA40 card went off at 8 o'clock, and the wind didn't really start to kick up till about 11, half 10, 11. So the guys in MA40 were through about 13 holes ish by about the point that the wind really started to cause problems. I got through about 10 or 11. I think 11 after hole 11, which was a pretty tough hole. But after hole 11, that's when I really started to notice the wind picking up for the day, and then it kind of stayed. So the FPO ladies would have been. I was on chase, I think. So the ladies would have been 4 cards after me. No, 5 cards after me, actually, the top ladies. So yeah, they would have had it. They would have been a little bit behind. So well done to Ella Hansen. Sophia Donica comes in second place. Juliana Korver in third. Highest Kiwi was Michelle Simpson, who I believe carded an ace on the first round.
She did hole 6 or something, wasn't it? There you go, hole 7. Hole 7.
Hole 7. Have I got the right? Where am I? Where am I
hole
looking?
7.
Oh, round 1. So it was. That would have been at Brooker Ave. I'm just trying to think which hole 7 was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hole 7, little peninsula hole.
Amber layout.
Yeah, little peninsula hole. Nice one to ace. Honestly, so yeah, very good, very good. Let's have a look a bit further down when we go to MA1. Sorry, MP40. Apologies. MP40. Paul
MP60.
Oman. Paul Oman takes out the win here. Just Simon Feasey started off with a bit of a lead, but then Paul Oman, I think, just gradually pulled himself back. 2 very good ratings tournaments from those 2, but Paul Oman just edging it in the end by Simon. Over Simon, and then those 2 were quite a bit ahead of Mike Hugh in 3rd, who was kind of on his own, to Cam Hubbard in 4th. MP50 and Jim Oates and Dustin Milbrough had a good battle here. Spoke to Dustin. It was really his round 2 that kind of let him down. He was particularly frustrated after shooting +11 at Bottle Lake.
Was that the first time you've met Dustin?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
He's a super nice guy, right?
Yeah, really nice, very knowledgeable. And real good to chat to.
Chris
and
Dixon was right in the mix there as well, though. Sorry to jump in there. I was just going to say Chris Dixon was right in the mix until the last round.
Till the last round, yeah. I mean, I don't know whether the wind got in, but that it really was a lot. You know, the wind was a lot more blowy in that second round. MP60, Ken Darkovich wins out over Chris Sinai, who caught up a little bit at the end. Bob Gentle in 3rd. And into MA1, Josh Pratt wins by a single stroke over Isaac Sasanuma Howard. And if you have a look at the scorecard for this, what you'll see is that it got a bit tight towards the end, right? So Josh wins by a single stroke, but is 3, 5, is 6 strokes ahead going into hole 17, and wins by a single stroke. Finishes the round with 2 doubles. Isaac finishes with a par and a birdie.
So this is the first division. This is the first division that we've gone through where we have a New Zealand winner.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So congratulations to Josh for picking up the win there. He was one of the favourites to win, along with Magnus, who came in 3rd. Into FA1, Alison Tweedy takes the win in this division pretty comfortably in the end. It was quite tight after the first round, but then when we got into Bottle Lake, she pulled ahead and never looked back. Some pretty good stuff there. 908 for a second round there was the highlight round for her.
Where is Yolanda from? Oh, Texas.
Texas, yes. I think she's got an RPM.
She's got a Kiwi flag as well, though.
I think
that was what was throwing me off there.
I think she's Team RPM.
Yep.
I didn't get to meet her, but yes, she's Team RPM, I think.
Awesome.
MA40, the best division. James Sutton wins on a playoff over Stuart Gilchrist, managed to birdie hole 1 in the playoff. And really came from behind. This was a really interesting division because Gary Jarvis had a huge lead, 4-shot lead after the first round over Stuart Gilchrist, and then James Sutton's 8 shots back. James then makes up 4 shots on Gary, but falls back 4 shots on Stu. So he's still 8 shots back of Stuart in the lead, and then claws back 3 shots in the 3rd round, and then overtakes him in the 4th round.
That's some super interesting numbers. I'm just scrolling through the rounds there, and that's there's some big leaps going on.
And despite Barry being finishing 4th, I don't think he was ever really kind of in the running. I mean, a shot of 979 round 3, which was a highlight for him. So that was fun. Going to FA40, Kath Headley wins this pretty tight race to begin with, but really had one round that stood out and that pushed her over the line, and played pretty consistently throughout the whole event. MA50, Hayden Shaw takes the win out here. This was one where the leader kind of changed hands all the way through, and it looked like it was a real ding dong between the guys at the top there, Hayden, Stephen, and Steve. And so yeah, they did incredibly well battling out, and yeah, so MA50 played off the shorter tees at both Brooker and Bottle Lake, and so played it in reverse, if you like. So played Bottle Lake round 1 and 4, played Brooker round 2 and 3. FA50, Debbie Mills wins pretty comfortably here. 8:48 is the highlight final round. Well done to her. MA60, Andy Brewster wins by 31 strokes. 31
Sandbagger.
strokes.
Oh, sorry. Did I say that? No, I'm joking.
Absolutely. 4-shot lead after the first round. Extended that lead in the second round. Extended it a bit more in the third round, and then extended it a bit more in round 4. Played the hot golf in every one before.
Just, I mean, you can see it just flicking through the scores. Just a lot, other than round 1 where he did get 1, 2, 5, 6 birdies. He just played a lot of clean golf. I mean, round 2 was his roughest one, but the rest, man, some pretty clean golf throughout the entire event. So that's what gets it done. Totally.
FA60, probably the most tightly fought competition out of the lot, honestly. If you whenever I looked at this division, there was like 2 shots separating the 3 of them all weekend. It looked like a real battle, and it was probably just Eileen had a bit to do on the final round to come back to try and take out the win over Jenny Joint, but yeah, she maintains her lead. So well done to those ladies. Real good close battle.
It's when you start looking at scores like these, and I mean, absolutely no offense at all. This is when it's like a true grit tournament, especially for these ladies, right? When you're shooting 110 to win, shooting 110 over par on, what did you say, it was a past 71 course?
Past 65 at Bottle Lake, 71
that is so many strokes to be throwing.
So the question might be for people who mentioned a possible kind of intermediate tier of layout between the longs and the shorts, is that where the third one should go, or should there be a third one that's kind of shorter still from where like MA50, MA2, etc. are playing for those divisions?
FA60, MA3, MA4.
Yeah, I don't know.
100%.
I don't know. It's a conversation worth having. In MA2, Jed Hansen wins with a 13 under par in his first PDGA sanctioned tournament. Shoots a 1005 rated round 2. 10 under par at Brooker Ave over the shorter course.
Now, I know I said it was going to be an MA1, but I told you someone from one of these divisions was going to shoot 1,000 red last week.
Yeah, I mean, so well done to Jed for scoring somewhat of a bucket list item, which is a sanctioned 1,000 rated round. So well done. In fact, I'm just going to check this because I'm pretty sure that. Am I right in this? Where is he? Yes, he got an ace. His first tournament, his first sanctioned tournament, he shoots a sanctioned ace and a sanctioned 1,000 rated round in the first 2 days of his first PDGA tournament. What is going on there? Incredible scenes. So yeah, well done to Jed, ticking off many people's kind of bucket list items for sanctioned golf there. So well done to Jed. MA3, Stephen Kelly takes out the win over Jacob Eder. Joshua Mills in third place. Yeah, there we go. Some pretty cool, pretty good results here. 961 from Stephen Kelly and from Jacob in first round at Bottle Lake. So yeah, some pretty good scores being shot down. FA3 Christina Orr wins by 9 strokes. 800 rated final round was the highlight there, highest rated round of the division for the weekend. And you could argue that FA3, this is where you're starting similar to FA60, where you kind of think, right, maybe there's another layout that might be more suitable to people. I don't know. MA4, relatively small division, but the winner was Matthias Ringberg. I think I pronounced that right. My apologies. Who wins by 4 shots over Josh Kyton. MJ18, Jet Nickel wins by 10 strokes. 953 and 951 were the highlights of his tournament over Bailey Gardner in second. Connor Rance wins MJ15 handsomely, and with 2 930 rated rounds being the highlight for him. In FJ12, Hayley Rance takes out the win here. The highlight for her will be an 838 rated 4th round, which is nearly 200 points over her PDGA rating.
Surely there has to be the biggest ratings jump for an event.
She jumped 84 ratings points earlier on this week.
Yes.
84 rating points, so she's up to 720 now. So yeah, well done to Hayley. 732
to the big leagues.
And then Wolfgang in MJ10. It's a long old poke for a 10-year-old to get round, you know, and did incredibly well to beat a number of people in some of the other divisions. So well done to him. So there, full results of nationals. It was a really good tournament. Enjoyed it. It'll be interesting to see where nationals goes next year. I know there was some conversations and some debates had. I know that there's some people looking for it. So if you are sat out there going, I could organise nationals, then I would encourage you to hit up Mr. Arm Burgess for more information. Because I'm sure he'd be keen to hear from you if you think your tournament do it.
Let's
where would you like to see it? Where would you like to see it?
I'm not sure, but what I would like us to do is just give a really, because we don't want to smash the microphones, but a big round of applause, micro round of applause for all our new national champions for 2025, 2024, 2025.
Well done.
Congratulations, guys. Amazing work.
Yeah.
Where would I like to see it go? Oh God, probably actually back to Auckland. If I'm honest,
Auckland.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's interesting.
Up that direction, I think.
I mean, so the idea is
like
that
to have it in Wellington.
Well, it was in Wellington in 2022.
Yep.
2021. Sorry. Is that right? Christchurch this year, Auckland last year. How was it the year before? It was no. It was in Wellington. It was in
Invercargill. Invercargill.
So
of course.
Yeah, Nate Perkins won it in Invercargill.
Yeah,
and then it went to Auckland, where Corey Ellis won it, and then Gossage wins it.
I've already figured it out, guys. I've already figured
Wellington
it out.
The year before that. Go on then. Where are you going?
We're taking it to the third island. We're taking it to Ringa on Stewart Island, and that'll be a proper battle of the beasts down there, up against all the elements.
So all those people who look forward to a big tournament on their doorstep, sod it. Everyone's going to travel, and we're all going to get on little biplanes to get there. And
that's my grenade of the week.
Okay. Well, if you like that and you want to do it, then let us know. But no, on a serious note, where Chatham Island Par 5, where do you think nationals should be next year? Where would you like it to go?
Jake Nelson said Nelson.
Matt Rance, surely it's got to go to Topor. We'll see. I'd like to see it go to a North Island, then South Island. Yeah, it kind of makes sense that it flip flops, So
McLaren Falls, maybe
availability. Yeah, possibly. I'm sure it's been held there before.
Yes, it has. Many moons ago, I'm pretty sure I remember. I think I played it there when Hayden was running it there.
Topol would be epic. Topol's difficult to get to. Like if you're from the South Island, it's tougher to get to Auckland than it is to Topol. Sorry, than it is to say get to Auckland. But man, they've got a course, right? They've got a facilities and a course and a tournament that's run incredibly well. So I don't know. Let's see. We look, if you are out there and you want to get and you want to hit up nationals and get involved in running it, then get in contact with Arne Burgess, and he'll be more than happy to talk you a bit more through it. Right, there are some tournaments going on this weekend, straight off the bat. Of nationals. So Morgan, let's go through Roxburgh to start, and let's have a look at the tips.
I need to put my tips in after I had that little kerfuffle earlier.
You do. Some people won pretty big on the weekend. So remember, season 1 of tipping, we're about halfway through season 1, right? So season 1's going to finish at the end of March. And so get your tips in for the list. Some people won pretty big. So currently leading the tipping leaderboard, Steve Lawson is leading the way. Josh Pratt in second place, Scott Brooker in third. I think that the consistent thing about all three of those were they bet on Josh Pratt to win MA1. That was the value bet of the weekend. But yes, let's have a look at tipping for Roxburgh first up. Favourite going into this event is Francis Orange at 3.6, Ben Wheellake 5.6, and Sebastian Faulkner at 7.1. Then Jack Maffey slightly outside that, Isaac Latter. Morgan, priced at 30 to 1. How do you fancy your chances?
I don't know, man, but if you go back and look at some of the historical data from this event, I've done pretty well. Except for last year. I think I pulled out last year. But
okay, so are we saying that 8.6 to place represents value there for you?
Oh, boys, so much value. So much value. Hey, I cashed twice in Thailand, so I'll leave that with your judgmental thoughts.
So carrying a bit of international form in, we'll see. Isaac Sassanuma Howard is used to being at the top of the leaderboard after his national second place. So we shall see if he can continue that.
I don't know if you can see this behind me. It might not be disc golf, and I'm carrying some form into this weekend. First place bowls, social bowls, season winners.
Wow, just a winner all over the place,
mate. We give it our best.
Victoria Speller goes in as favourite in FPF over Hayley Flintoff and Echo Lee. Well, it's going to be pretty tight. In MP40, Hamitir Fitu is the favourite, slightly over Mikey Yu, and then Johnny Ferrari. Should be a pretty tight division, really. Any one of about 4 or 5 of those guys, I can see kind of contesting.
I can see Johnny having a pretty good weekend this weekend. I just feel it for him. Yeah, I feel it for him this weekend.
There we go. So 6.7 on the win. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Hemi's playing some pretty good golf, so we shall see what happens. Ben Quinn is the favourite in MA1, ranked 24, ranking places ahead of Carl Barringer in second, and then a whole bunch of guys in the 80s and 90s who could be challenging for a podium. Yep. In FA1, Alison Tweedy is the odds-on favourite to take out the win here at 1.2. You're going to struggle to get shorter odds anywhere else. Stuart Gilchrist, second at Nationals on a playoff, takes 2.3 into MA40. Looks pretty good, but Lance Essen could be one to contend with there. In FA40, it's going to be pretty close between Jenny Gould, Julia, and Tanya. So we'll see if you go for who you think there. Mark Tebbett in MA50 is the favourite at 4s. Greg Phillips at 5.5s. Jeremy Hafferley has a slight advantage over Rob Kent, the data analytics team believe, and Joseph Ball, is odds-on favourite in MA2 at 4.4. Connor Rance is there to get the nod over Grayson Heen in MJ 15.
Can we just scroll back to the MP40 division real quickly there, Mr. Thomas?
Of course.
I just want to see something here. MA40, FA1, M81. That's all good. There you go, MP40. Oh, yeah, you do have it, Mikey UH. I just wasn't too sure. I only moved him from MPO to MP40 today. So I just wanted to make sure he was in the right bracket.
So broadly speaking, it's about every hour that this updates, right? So if you make a change, if you make a change on your side, on your tournament manager, then it updates more or less every hour. So it might be 5 minutes before it updates, or it might be an hour, but it will be should be no more than an hour before it gets updated. Final chance to put DNA into the chat before we have a look at the odds for Moonshine. That lovely disc that's in front of Morgan's face. Maybe we can get that slightly bigger on the screen. And you say it's an FD, Morgan?
It is an FD from the new DNA range. I think it's the new plastic injection molding, whatever they want to call it. It's you can sort of see the transitional patterns in the rim there. Does not come through on camera as good as it looks right here in person. It's a stunning disc, and again, I would keep it, but I can't throw FDs, so out the door it goes to one of you lucky folks.
All right. So we're going to do the draw for that after we've had a look at the odds for Moonshine. So Moonshine is an interesting tournament. It's held this weekend. It's the second time it's been held, and this time it's a chance for the course to be stress tested to for what will be a permanent layout when the baskets go in a little bit later on this year. So they've been getting the funding, they've been getting the permissions and all that kind of stuff. And this event is going to be testing out what will be the permanent layout, right? So yeah, interesting to see how it goes. I'm not able to play this one, unfortunately, but I will be watching on intently to see how they get on. Andy Davey is the odds-on favourite to take out the win here. At 1.6, Young Ha in second. Ben Morrison favourite in MA1. In MA40, Dan Smith leads the way in a pretty tight division, honestly. Mason has got some game, and I know that Chris Houston practices a lot of putts. So his performance on the green could well be the decider. Kath Headley favourite goes in FA40. Ezra Morrison, if he can be, he's the most. I hope you don't mind me saying this. He's the most inconsistent player I've ever seen play this. He's capable of coming in. Honestly, I've played in tournaments with him where he's shot like a 980 rated round, and then the next round will shoot 820. Right? He's all over the place. So if he's capable of putting together, it's a 3-round tournament. If he's capable of putting together 3 half decent rounds, and they aren't all over the place, then I think
that's the dig of a true friend, Matt. That's the dig of a true friend right here.
MA3, Dane Williamson is the favourite here, but really there's not much to pick between really the top 7. Really take your pick here as to who you think is going to win. The data analytics team have just thrown a blanket over the top 7 of MA3. FA3, Natalie Jump and Danielle Woodfall. It's going to come between those, and in MJ18, Tane Payne is favourite over Eamon Presser. There's still spots available at Moonshine if you want to get involved. I think it's closing time. Kath will probably correct me. It's 7 p.m. I think tomorrow night. So if you're keen, then get involved and sign up. Should be a good little tournament. Plus, you get to give your feedback and help influence the design of the new course, of the new layout at Moonshine, which I'm very much looking forward to going in the ground. It will mean, Morgan, that there's a new course that's only 20 minutes from my house. 25 minutes from my house. So perfect. Happy with that. Off the back of 8 new baskets, which I'm yet to play, that have been put into Berrenport as a combination of those two. the 18 at Moonshine, and the 8 at Berrenport. That's nearly doubling the number of in-the-ground baskets that Wellington have got between those two activities. So
shout out to the Wellington crew. You guys are absolutely killing it up there. I mean, we've
Yeah.
seen everything from the huge numbers at those events that you guys have been having up there through to new courses popping up. It seems like it's the scene. It's the new scene, the happening scene in the country.
Well, I hope so. I mean, to be honest, the board do a great job, and Kath leading that board does a brilliant job of.
So what we're
keeping everyone
saying
in
is
check.
Wellington is the next national championship.
Morgan, it would be great, but honestly, there's no there's so few courses that stand up to nationals quality rigor, especially if you're gonna put a coach load of American overseas pros coming in, right? If they're all gonna be arriving, then there's you'd be talking almost certainly about a pop-up course somewhere. And if you're going to do a pop-up course, then that's, as you know, has got risks and that associated with it. So I mean, it wouldn't be impossible. I don't think it's on anyone in Wellington's radar, quite honestly. But maybe it will be. Maybe it will be if any of them are watching. Maybe it's something that they will want to be involved in. But looking around, there's no course in Wellington at the moment that you can just kind of go, okay, yeah, we'll pop it up there. In the same way that Christchurch has got Bottle Lake and Brooker, which are a few adjustments can make it a nationals quality course, right? Mm-hmm. In Invercargill, you can make some changes to the course there and use the golf club, and they can turn it into a nationals quality course. In Auckland, you had several courses all within a close range of each other that you can do a nationals quality course. I'm not sure Wellington quite has that. So yeah. Anyway, we're just gonna take a quick break to bring you this.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't know if we got. Did we get sound?
Absolutely did not get sound.
Yeah,
but,
did not get sound.
You know what?
Okay. Well, there you go. Charteris Bay Charge is coming. Charteris Bay Charge is coming. I think May the 18th. Is that the date that I saw on the thing? Sunday, May the 18th. So keep an eye out for details of how to get involved with that.
Charteris Bay is such an incredible course. I might have to look at going up to that. Nah, it's not national. Sorry, Tom's in our ear going nationals at Charteris Bay. I don't think it's a nationals level course at Charteris Bay, but it is definitely a very good event level course at Charteris Bay. And it's an incredible location just outside of Christchurch, out on the peninsula. Great spot. Can't recommend it enough.
Right, just before we wrap up, we're gonna go to.
How about Matt? We just rewind right back to the start of the show, and we just throw in some hot scores at this point.
Some hot. Did we not done hot scores?
Well, no, mate. You went straight into nationals. Like,
I did. Wow, I did. And there'll be people out there going, "I shot a hot score this week," because I get that. I get.
I'm
messages.
here for the people. I'm here for the people.
I get messages. You didn't read out my hot score when I got a hot score. It's the 1 week that I didn't do hot scores. All right, we're gonna do hot scores. We'll go for it.
All right, guys. As we always do at the start of every show, we're going to start off with hot scores down in the south, and we're going to Queen's Park, and we've got at 10:13 p.m. Tiaki, who shoots a 15 down this week. Nice shooting there, Tiaki. Over to Chingford, and we've got Nicholas McDermott shooting a 7 under par. Brockville, and we've got Calvin Cummings and Mr. Ryan Mitchell, both shooting 5 under par this week. As always, at the Queenstown Gardens, the Stiffmeister holds the keys, 14 under par. Mundo McDisk, the other echo in the room, 11 under par at Lismore Park. Jelly Park, Gregor Brosnahan, 14 under par. That guy's an absolute monster on the course. Warren Park sees Sam Cole, friend of the show, 12 under par. Smallbone Reserve sees KBG, 12 under par as well. And then 7 down for Daniel Frost at Queen's Park Reserve. Saxton Field has David Coland at 2 over par. That's 2 over par. And rounding out the north of the south with Mr. the one and only Patrick Ludlow, 14 under par, getting the keys and holding it down at Brantford Park. That's the south.
Up in the north, it's Marcel Bewley who hits 6 under at Berrenport. That's on the 18 hole Berrenport course. Ben Morrison and Pedro doing the work at Hikoi Koi for 4 down. KJ Carrick, probably at League last night at Harcourt Park with a 4 under par. Johnny Wake hits 9 under at Linklater. And then it's a 4-way tie as Finn Rumours, Tom Roberts, Andrew F. and Jason Gray can't decide who's best with a 3 under par at Maryland's. Vaughan Clouston hits +1 around Spa Park Black. Jens Carlson hits 8 under at Henderson. And 8 under is also the hot score for Vinnie Wilson around Wood Hill. Finally, Luke Humphreys takes out Rosedale's hot round with an 11 under par. So well done to everybody who got a hot round this week. Right. What I will say is a question that I had at the weekend is we'll soon be refreshing our list of our hot score locations, Morgan.
Yes, that is definitely due an update.
With 2024's numbers, which we'll be getting hold of and doing a whole show on when we dissect the numbers of both the courses and the players like we did last year. And I don't know, what do you think? Is it quiz night again? Are we having another quiz? And everyone can get 2 out of 30 or whatever it was.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe we bring in the quiz master himself, Mr. Burgess, but you know what? Nah. Bugger him. Unless he walks through my door in the next 2 minutes, he's not getting in the quiz show.
Yeah, okay, right. But no, we will be doing a quiz. That'll be coming up, but we'll first off be doing one on the course data that we get from UDisc. So yeah, look out for that. That'll be coming in the next few weeks or maybe month. We'll see. Now we're going to go to Disc Golf Valley. Let's have a look at how everybody got on. I shot abysmally well, probably.
Tom doesn't want it. Tom didn't want us to see what was just on the screen.
That good. Right, so what we got? Kelvin with 9 under par, Morgan with 8 under, producer Tom with 9 under par. Well done. There's my +2.
Nines.
But I got an eagle.
Boom. Your first one, I think you said.
Yes, it is. It is my first eagle. 2 albatrosses on that hole, though. I'm losing shots on the card with an eagle. I feel disappointed there. But yes, well done to combination of Kelvin and taking a hot round in Disc Golf Valley. Finally, Distal. Let's have a look. Morgan, go on then. FD, type it in. That's the giveaway.
Type it in. Start off with the FD.
With this. See how we get on.
Remember, guys, DNA in the chat if you want a chance to win this tonight.
Right, so it's nowhere near. But so we need a much slower speed, not Discmania disc. So let's go. Is Caltrop on the list? CAL.
CAL.
It's not. Okay, it's out of production. That's probably why. Let's go with Beetle.
I was just thinking about like a Nova right then.
Two E's.
At these numbers.
Okay, that's not there either. All right. Come on, it's real slow speed. Glitch.
Try run the Nova for me, Tom.
Okay, boom, here we go with glitch. Okay, so it's faster than a glitch.
Yeah. Sheesh. I think a Nova's a 1 speed as well, actually. I'll give.
But it's not MVP, so it's speed.
Stand by. I have a Nova at hand. I didn't even realize my bag was here. 2300.
Okay, let's try that then.
Go the Nova.
All right.
What?
Here it is. There it is.
There it is.
There it is. What do we think, chat? Oh, well, that's helped us out. So it's a speed 3, I suspect. A 330 something.
330.
It's not Innova. It's not MVP. And it's not Discmania.
Chat. Where are you, chat?
We need your help. Luna, says Craig.
Luna. Oh, God, I thought that was it.
3302, and it's probably like it won't be. It's not a zone, but it could be a something
What's
in
like
the
a tactic?
latitude.
Oh, no, it's Tasmania. Yeah.
So it'll be a latitude mold, I suspect. A latitude or west side, or no, west side's not. It's a dynamic or a latitude mold. I should know this one.
Yeah, that's all on you when we get to that.
Gatekeeper, I think, is a bit fast. Gatekeeper's like a 5, I think.
Zone.
Yeah, let's try Sinus.
Do they still make the Sinus?
Yes, but not as it was, and it's not latitude. Okay, what manufacturers can we have?
Is it Trilogy then? It could be Casterplast.
Yeah, but if you
reveal the hint.
Yeah, but will that give us? Okay, go on then.
Casterplast. So is it the Berg? It's a Berg, isn't
Reiko? It's a 02, so I'm not sure if that's it could be a Berg or a Berg X. Go on, try Berg.
Berg.
It's not Berg, it'll be Berg X. Reiko X.
Reiko X.
Well done. Someone did say Rico. I'm not sure if they got the X, but yes.
Yeah, they did.
Very well done.
Hayden and Elvin both said Rico, but no X.
Finally tonight, let's have a look at power rankings, and then we'll do Morgan's draw. We'll do power rankings first, then we'll do the draw for the disc. So in the power rankings, Victoria Speller moves up 2 spots to 4th, and Nicola Stout is up 4 spots to 7th. Following her performance at Nationals, she put in a very spirited performance to finish I've just lost it. I had it a minute ago. To finish 7th. Pretty good performance from her, finishing the 2nd Kiwi in the field. So well done to Nicola Stout. And over in the male division, Paul Oman moves up 4 spots to 3rd. Simon Feezy's up 1 to 4th. Sergei Sanin is up 15 spots to 15th.
Awesome.
That's following his 13th place finish, which, when you consider that that's the 4th best Kiwi, right? That's a pretty good jump. There were jumps also for Joseph Berry, Jake Brennan, Jack Maffey, Justin Van der Meer, Mikey Yu, Jamie Hunter, Mark Dakib, all in the top 25 as they made the move. I myself managed to get myself onto the rankings, Morgan, for the first time, which I'm particularly proud of.
Hey, there we go. Well done.
You have to scroll a few pages before you get to me. So yeah. Anyway, let's get on and do a duck race. We've got the details.
Quack quack.
We've got the details coming in. Sure what's on screen now, but we'll
he's
get
just
there.
readjusting it.
There we are. So you've got all the entries in, and so here we go. So we got,
what have we got? 55 people in the list, is it, Tom? Wow. Heck yeah. All right.
Okay, here we go.
Let's run it.
Look at it. Right. Look at this. This has got to be the biggest duck race we've done. I'm in pink down the bottom, matches my eyes. Roy Potassi and Ephraim Russell making the early running. Craig Lykin with a I just dropped right off. Craig Lykin, Ephraim, and Roy Potassi. Who's this coming through? Stevenson.
Craig could be saving me some shipping right now.
Yeah, that's what you want. But it all comes down to the final.
Steve Lawson.
Here it comes. Whoa, who's this? Ryan Smale. Smale from nowhere comes out
of nowhere
and takes the win. So congratulations, Ryan. That FD is on its way to you.
Ryan, if you can send me, Morgan Harderveld, a DM, please. If you can't find me, go to the Generation Facebook page. Send me a message with your details, and I'll get that shipped off right after Roxburgh next week. If not tomorrow, actually. It's Friday tomorrow. Quite possibly tomorrow.
Yeah, Craig, looking good for a while. Yeah, indeed. That's the thing with those duck races; they're never over till they're over. Look, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. If you enjoy what we do and you want to be involved a little bit more, and you want to give us you're going to get some early access to stuff, right? Morgan, you've got an in the bag that's on our Patreon that's exclusive to Patreon members. I'm going to be doing one. Producer Tom's going to be doing one as well, and we've got a few other plans as well for some stuff that's going to be coming. So get over to our patreon.com/sweetchainlive to get involved. Otherwise, hit the like, hit the comment, and comment on the video. It all really helps us, right? So every like, comment, and a subscription that we get through YouTube helps push us in front of more people. So please do all of those things. But yeah, I think that's about it from us. Very best of luck to everybody playing at Roxburgh this weekend and at Moonshine and wherever you're playing disc golf. Take it easy, play well, get some birdies, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.